Listen to me. If you're an entrepreneur and you're still not taking creating content seriously, you're losing. You're losing in this game we call business. Period. Because if you ain't putting out content, you're practically invisible. And if people can't find you, then please tell me, how do you possibly expect them to do business with you? They can't. See, my wife used to tell me all the time, Donnie, you need to start creating content. But I didn't really take it serious until finally about like a year ago. And because I started taking it serious about a year ago, I've already grown by at least 2,000%. And that kind of growth has changed my business. Yes, it's changed my business. And it's also boosted my income and my bottom line. Bottom line is more people started reaching out to me simply because I finally made a decision. I finally made a decision to make it easy for people to find me. Content is king. That's not just a cliche. And I had to find that out the hard way because I finally now understand that it's the driving force behind how you actually connect with people or connect with an audience and actually grow your brand. See, if you don't harness the power of content, you're going to keep missing out. You're literally going to keep missing out on all the growth and success that you actually deserve to have. So how do you harness the power of content? Well, I'm glad you asked. But before I go into that, first things first is I'm a realist and my name is Donnie. And in this video, I'm going to break down why content creation is more critical than ever, is more critical than you actually think, why it's part of a new form of advertising taking place right now, exactly what it is, and how to create the kind of content that actually supercharges your social media and explodes your business growth. And I'm going to do this by giving you 6 key steps to building a strong, powerful social media content strategy. I want to start by breaking down what content actually is. So what is content really? Content is media. And media is just a means of communication. And media comes in 3 forms: written media, audio media, and visual media. Written media are basically books, newspaper articles, magazines, blog posts, social media posts. It's anything that involves words on a page or a screen that falls under written media. And then you have audio media, which consists of podcasts, music, audiobooks, voice chats, or like back then in 2021 to 2022 and 2020 and probably close to 2023, we had Clubhouse popping, right? So that was a form of media. And Twitter Spaces is now the big thing in form of media. And I think you can get together on TikTok and have these rooms, which they also become a form of media, right? I mean, a form of audio media. They rely on sound alone to convey information and entertainment. That's what audio media is. And then you have visual media like movies, music videos, TikTok videos, Instagram reels or stories, still photos, paintings or drawings. Any form of communication where visual leads the message is considered visual media. Now that we understand that content is media, let's move to the second part of this definition, that all content is produced by an individual or organization, whether it's written, audio, or visual. It's created by someone. And this could be a single person or a large group like a marketing agency, a big company like Nike, or an institution. It can be any of these things. It could be just literally one person. But one thing we assume that content just became this new thing, this new phenomenon. We think that content is a new invention, when content is not a new invention. Man, content has been around so long. Content has actually existed for thousands upon thousands upon thousands of years. Like in ancient times, engravings on stone tablets was a form of content creation. If you want your work or your message to outlive you, you must learn to create content. Literally think about how we know about all the historical and cultural figures we know today. Think about how we even know of Jesus, Yahshua. We know of his life and his teachings because people around him recorded and shared him. The people around him created content. Have you ever heard the 4 Gospels, Matthew, Mark, Luke, and John? Those people, Matthew, Mark, Luke, and John, they were content creators. We wouldn't know those parts in Jesus' life that happened if these people wouldn't have wrote it down or created the content for us to be reading today, 2,000 years later. We know Moses. We know his stories and his teachings because they were written and preserved. We wrote it like we know we read the Torah because Moses created that content. What is the Torah? The first 5 books in the Bible. We know the first 5 books in the Bible because Moses took his time, sat down and wrote them. He wrote the Torah, right? And the reason we know about the Torah or the first 5 books in the Bible is because he took the time to create content. Like we know Aaliyah and Tupac because of the content they created, because of the music that they gave us. We know all these we know Michael Jackson because of all the great music and entertainment that he gave us. Like the Michael Jackson's performances still live on to this very day. But these are all forms of audio and visual media and content created by these historical and cultural figures. But we know these people, this all I'm saying is we know these individuals and they are remembered because they created something for people to consume. They created content. They created content. Let me say it again. We know these people because they created content. Now that you understand that content is media and that media is produced by an individual or organization, now let's move on to the third part of this definition. Content is created with the purpose to share. Let me say it again. We create content so that we share it. If you write a personal journal with no intentions of showing it to anyone, that's not content in the sense that we're discussing. Like, content is created to share with the public. The defining features is your intent to share it. Like, we know certain people, both from the past and present, because they shared what they created. Content is meant to be shared. If you're creating media, if you're writing something down, if you're creating some type of audio, and if you're creating some type of video or still photo, if you don't plan on sharing that things with the public or sharing it with an audience, it's not content. Well, I know that everyone shares something, but the difference between the ones who stand out and the ones who don't, it often lies in attention. Because even though people share stuff or share content, they don't do it with intention. Most people share content for themselves. They share content about what they're interested in, about what they care about what they want to do, about what they like. And that's the problem. They're like, if you only sharing content and you're only concerned about the things that you like and the things that you want, then you're never going to grow a brand or a business. Because you can't grow a brand or a business being interested in only what you want. Because people don't, like, I don't know if you know this or not, but people don't care about what you want. They only care about what they want. And if you're not giving them what they want, they just move on to someone else who are willing to give them what they want. So if you're just sharing content for yourself, if you're just sharing content for likes and validations and recognition, then you're probably not going to get far. You're probably going to stay at the engagement that you stay at with your friends and your family and the people you know that like your stuff. But if you're not adding value, if you're not posting with intentions, see, without truly aiming to help or inform others, you're just posting randomly. And if you're just posting randomly, you're literally just probably posting for yourself. And if you're posting for yourself, you're only creating content that serves you. And if you create content that only serves you, it lacks value for your audience. And if it doesn't help, entertain, or educate people, why would anyone want to pay you for it or even pay attention to it? People, listen to me. People generally pay for products, services, or creations because those things solve a problem for them. Let me say it again. People generally pay for products, services, or creations or inventions because these things solve a problem for them. It fulfills a needs or it entertains them. In other words, Success lies in helping people. And to help people, you must share content intentionally. You can't continue to randomly share stuff that adds no value to the people you're sharing it to. Content is meant to add value. You know Jesus because of the value that his content added. You know Aaliyah, you know Tupac, the people that I previously named, because of the value that they added. Like you getting to know me because of the value I'm adding. I'm a business consultant. I share content that teaches people how to play a game, how to play the game of business in a way that enhances their life so that they can live out their best life while they're here on this planet. No matter what type of cards they were dealt, no matter the current situation they came from or came out of. My intent is to empower and educate. That's why I share content. I don't share content for any other reason. I don't share content for me. I share content for you. I literally, just this video is an example. Like I'm giving you all the knowledge necessary to help you go out and use content or leverage content in a way that changes your business, which will change your life. Like my wife, she shares content that shows women how to embrace or enhance their beauty. Like she's a beauty guru. So she shares content that shows women how to enhance their beauty and feel more confident. Her goal is, like, her intent for all the content that she posts, for the things that she shares, her goal is to encourage self-expression in a bold and unapologetic way. And then I'll give you another example. My daughter, she's an actor and musician. So most of the content that she creates, she creates content to entertain. She wants to help people escape life stress. She wants to help people just get away, even if it's for a moment. Her intent is to bring joy and let others get lost in a performance, whether it's in her acting or in her music. But she shares content for you, not for her. She creates the music for you, not for her. All I'm saying is content has to come with an intent. Let me say it again. Content has to have an intent or it will not be effective. So if you're randomly creating content, then you're probably not going to be very effective because your content has no intent. An intent just gives your content a purpose. Like why did you post that? Like why are you writing that? What is this quote does or what is you putting this information out there going to do to help others? Or is it just make people feel sorry for you? Or is it just to show off for people? Or is it just to show people, say, look at me, I'm doing this and you're not doing this? Is it just to make other people jealous? Like, why? What is the reason you post content? Content isn't just about the medium, just not just about the written, the audio, and the visual, but it's about purpose. When you create and share with clear intent, whether the content informs, entertains, or inspires, you have to add value to others. And when you add value, you gain attention, you gain respect, and most assuredly, you will gain income and influence. See, if you want your name or your message to live beyond your lifetime, you have to create content intentionally, not randomly. All right. So now that you understand what content is, let's talk about why creating content is more important than ever for you as an entrepreneur, especially in this current era that we're living in. Creating content is quickly becoming one of the most efficient ways to actually reach potential customers. I don't know if you know this, but there literally is a major shift happening right now. There's a significant shift occurring in the world of advertising that you might not be paying too much of attention to. See, we're moving away from outbound marketing. Think mass. When I say outbound marketing, think mass marketing, like mass ads on TVs, like mass ads on radios and billboards and pop-ups, and we're moving away from that, and we're moving more towards inbound marketing, which is what they call AKA content marketing. And content marketing relies on creating material that naturally attracts people to your brand. And here's the reason for this change. traditional outbound marketing isn't working actually the way it used to. Let me explain to you why outbound marketing is really no longer working. See, outbound marketing is essentially interruptive marketing. That's what I call it. Interrupted because it likes to interrupt you. See, it used to be effective when there were only a handful of channels limited TV stations. See, I don't know if you know this because we live in this digital age and we have so much media everywhere. We're not paying attention to just 50, 60 years ago. There were literally only 3 or 4 radio stations, and there were literally only 3 or 4 TV stations, right? And there were only a couple popular newspapers and magazines. And everybody will watch the same channels, and everybody will watch the same, listen to the same radio shows or podcasts back then, right? And everybody will read the same newspapers and magazines, right? And so brands could cast a wide net and catch the attention of this large audience because they were all gathered together in the same exact places and the same exact few places. But again, times have changed. Today, audiences are scattered across countless of media. There are countless of streaming services, countless of social media platforms and podcasts and websites and apps. Media is everywhere now, right? So with so many options, it's almost nearly impossible to grab attention using just one ad. And as a result, and because of this, I would say traditional marketing or interrupting marketing or interruptive ads that show up uninvited are often ignored. And I do it all the time, skipped or is blocked. Why? Because people are fed up with being interrupted. Whether it's the commercials that play during your favorite TV shows. I think I was watching something with my son. I think it was on CW. And then, man, I was getting all into it. And then all of a sudden, it stopped when the action was about to happen. They know what they're doing. And then they interrupt. And that, I don't know, it irks my brain. And then sometimes you can't skip them. But it's the ads that you have to set through before your YouTube video goes through. Right? You have to wait those 15 seconds or 5 seconds before you can skip it, like it interrupts your day. Or the sponsored post that you scroll right past on social media. Most of us have learned to tune out all ads, period. Most of us are just like ads are like blurs in the background to us. So if you think interruptive marketing is going to scale your brand to new heights, don't hold your breath because you might die waiting. The truth is, traditional marketing is literally becoming inefficient. It's old. And it probably won't help you survive in today's crowded marketplace. And I'm just being honest with you. Like I'm told you, I'm a realist. The shift is happening because people don't want to be interrupted. They want to be attracted. That's exactly what content marketing does. It focuses on developing and sharing resources like articles, videos, podcasts, and social media posts that people naturally want to engage with because they find them helpful or entertaining. Just like this video you're watching of me right now. This video you're watching of me right now is a resource. It's a resource to you because I'm teaching you what content is, or I'm sharing with you what content actually is, and how the new wave of marketing, or how marketing is currently changing right now, is going from, because we don't have deep pockets, so we can't be everywhere on every platform, especially if you're a small business owner or an entrepreneur. You don't have money to be everywhere on all platforms. You don't have money to continue to chase customers or cast a wide net and see how many people become customers out of the hundreds of thousands of people that saw your ads and only 10 of them bought. Like, this is inefficient, right? The most efficient way is to start attracting people to you. Because when you start attracting people to you by actually becoming an actual natural resource, like you can become a natural resource just like oil or gold or any lithium or whatever. You could become or gas. You could become a natural resource. You got to begin focus on making yourself a resource. Are you a resource? Can people go to you for the knowledge that they need? For the knowledge that they need. Like, people can come to me because I'm an entrepreneur. Everything that you're probably going to go through, I've already been through, and I've already forgotten and got over it, right? But all I'm saying is I'm just sharing with you the knowledge of everything I've learned so far in the last, when I started, I think I started to be an entrepreneur back in 2012. So this 13 years of experience that I'm able to give to you as a resource, so you can learn how to better play the game in business, so that you don't have to go through all the bumps and bruises that I had to go through to get to where I am. That's all I'm saying. So, and this is why I'm trying to get this information out here to you, because I'm a resource. By me being this type of resource, you find me because I'm a resource to you. This video is a resource. I'm adding value to you. I'm teaching you how to better understand how to play this game as an entrepreneur. And I'm telling you right now that traditional marketing is going out the window. Traditional marketing right now is actually on life support. It's literally on life support. So instead of disrupting someone day with an ads, with, you know how we retire, like, let's go create some Facebook ads. I'm not saying not to do that. I mean, that plays its parts. But what I'm saying is you need to start focusing on creating lots of content that attracts people to you, versus you trying to chase people down, versus you constantly interrupting. Like, you don't like to be interrupted. When you're watching TV, your favorite TV show, or you're trying to look for a music video or a video on YouTube and you see that ad, I'm telling you that this is dying. I'm trying to give you a tip or a hint, so you don't keep on wasting your money and trying to focus on creating campaigns that really go nowhere most of the time. Like, because just think about how inefficient traditional marketing is. If you get 1 million impressions, like 1 million people saw your stuff, but only 5 of them bought, 10 of them bought, like how efficient is that? It's like a waste of money. Like, I'm showing 1 million people see my stuff, but only 10 people buy. Why? Because people are tired of being interrupted. So instead of disrupting someone's day with ads that they may not, or that they may not be relevant to them, you create material that answers their questions. You create videos. You write blog posts. You write down the text or whatever social media posts that solves the problem that they already have. I'm solving a problem for you right now. And by providing genuine value, you draw people in, and you don't gotta interrupt them. And you build a relationships that lasts way past them watching that video. You build a long-term relationship. They start to build a long-term relationship with your brand. And this method works under the principle of attraction rather than interruption. Let me say it again. This method works under the principle, content marketing works under the principle of attraction rather than interruption, like traditional marketing. People seek out your content because they inherently find it as a valuable resource. And when you start producing content that actually help people, it's going to do 3 things. It's going to do these 3 things. Number 1, producing content helps you to build trust and establish authority. When you publish material or videos or posts or articles, or you create podcasts that addresses common pain points, that offers expert insight or simplifies literally complex topics, you help people understand something they couldn't understand, you become the go-to resource. And as your audience realize they can rely on you for reliable information, their perception of your brand naturally shifts from just another business to now a trusted advisor. You're the one they look to. Like, like how we have that go-to person. Like I always say, hey, let me call my lawyer, or let me call my advisor first. Let me call this person first to make sure I'm getting stuff right. And by doing this over time, this positions you as a trusted authority that can lead to stronger and longer lasting customer relationships. See, rather than literally trying to push products on people, you're building rapport and credibility by consistently delivering value. There it goes again, helping people. You got to help people. So when the time comes for your audience to buy, they already know, like, and trust your brand. So they literally buy before they even know what you're selling. This is what producing content does. It helps you build trust and establish your authority. And the second thing creating content does, is producing content helps you make you more findable, and it expands your reach. So when you begin to create content and you publish well researched content and concepts that people ain't heard, like in this video you're probably watching, and when you create relevant content that answers common questions that people may have, it helps rank you higher in search engines, on search engine results, especially when people are talking about entrepreneurship, or they come and they're looking for a new way to market, and then they come across my video, boom, they click it. It continues to put me high up in the rankings when people are searching for entrepreneurship or stuff that contains content marketing in it. See, each piece of content you produce can become an early point for people finding you online. Like literally, people find me online all the time, and this just because it spreads your visibility, especially when you putting out stuff that actually solves problems for people. When you're putting out stuff to solve problems for people, of course, why would they not want to find you? They need your help. And producing content also expands your reach. See, when you create something genuinely helpful and entertaining, people are more likely to share it within their own networks, multiplying your reach. See, this organic sharing can introduce your brand to a whole new level of people, a whole new audience, all at a fraction of what you'll spend on paid ads by just producing content. Now you got this person showing your stuff, and you got this person showing your stuff, and you got this person showing your stuff, and now all of a sudden you're getting pushed out to a whole new target audience that you never even spoke to or seen, or they never even came across to you. See how this all works together? Now you're creating content to help people, so you become more findable, and the more findable you become even more findable, because the people who found you always like to say, look, I found this guy first. I knew about this guy first. Let me share this person, right? They don't always want to be like this. This is how your reach expands. I don't know if you know this or not, but creating content. Number one is creating content helps you build trust and establish authority. And number two, it helps you become more findable, and it expands your reach. And number three, producing content gives you long-term benefits. Now listen to me on this. Unlike many forms of advertising that vanish once you run out of money, advertising vanishes. It's gone. The budget just ate it all up. But if you start producing high-quality content and you produce it over and over and over, you'll see that it will continue to work for you long after you produce it. An article or video that solves a persistent problem can keep attracting visitors and potential customers months or even years after you published it or after you put it out there. See, by consistently producing content that resonates with your target audience, you build brand loyalty and recognition in a more organic way and a more suitable way than you could ever imagine. People remember who helped them learn something new or who helped them solve a problem. And this leads to repeat visits, recommendations, and eventually sales. Like, I don't know if you know how content marketing works. So let me try to explain how this works. Let me try to explain why content marketing is so powerful. Content marketing is so powerful is because you came across this video, right? And this video is a piece of content that I created. And this piece of content that I created helped you to discover me. And because you discovered me and found that I'm talking about something that you actually want to hear about or that you're actually interested in, so you start engaging in and listening to me. And as you start engaging in and listening to me, now you want to know more because you like what I'm teaching. You like the information that I'm giving out to you. I'm somehow, or let's say I'm not somehow, but I'm helping you gain knowledge that you didn't previously have, so that it can help you better play this game in business. And by me doing this, you continue want to engage and engage with my content over and over and over. So when I offer this book, and you see this book, and I offer this called The Strategic Player, I'll sell this for $49.95, and you can get it where books are sold online. and I offer this to you, and you've been watching my videos, you've been engaging with me, you're putting in comments, you're part of my world. I'm building trust, and I have established trust with you. I've established expertise with you. I've established all type of authority with you. I have established complete trust, unequivocally trust with you, because I'm actually helping you. I'm actually doing something to help you, which is helping you to become a better playing entrepreneur in this game we call business. And so when I offer this book, The Strategic Player, understanding how to play the game, how to play the branding game and the numbers game, you're probably going to buy it, because all the value that I'm offering you for free through content marketing, because you already trust me. I don't need you to trust if the information is good in this book. You don't have to trust it, because you trust me. And because you trust me, you're going to trust the information that is in this book. So you're more likely to buy it because of content marketing. Ultimately, the purpose for producing content, period, folks, is about forging a deeper connection with your audience by focusing on their needs rather than your own promotional goals or needs. And you focus on their needs by educating them, entertaining them, and inspiring them. You create a positive association that encourages trust and loyalty, qualities that will set your brand apart and set you up for long-term success. And this is why the shift from outbound marketing to content marketing is happening. Content isn't just important anymore. It's everything. It has the power to make or break your business. The way you communicate, educate, and engage with your audience will determine whether you thrive or you get lost in the noise in this current era of business. Okay, Donnie, I get it. I get what you're saying. So how do I create content that not only grabs attention, but also grows my brand and boosts my bottom line? Well, I'm glad you finally asked. So here are 6 steps to building a powerful content strategy that drives like real results. I'm talking about real results. Key step number 1, define your goal for the content you are posting. Let me say it again. Key step number 1 is you first have to define your goal. Before you can create anything, before you create any piece of content, you need clarity. And when I say you need clarity, you need to be clear about what it is that you are posting the content for. Remember, all content needs to have an intention. It needs to be created with a purpose. So what is the purpose for why you're creating the content that you create? Like, what do you want your content to achieve? Is it brand awareness? You're trying to get your name out there? You're trying to build more recognition? Are you posting content because you want to generate more leads? You're trying to attract more potential customers to your brand, and you're trying to move them through your funnel? Like, again, like whether you come into my life through discovery because I'm teaching you something, and you become a part of my ecosystem, and you flow through my funnel, and you end up eventually buying something because I created content that generated leads. Like, why? Like, you literally got to understand why you create content. Are you creating content because you just want to educate people? You want to provide value through insight, tutorials, and industrial knowledge? Like, this is why I create content, because I literally want to educate. And me educating people, because I'm a teacher by nature. I like to learn, and I like to teach what I learn, right? So, and this also helped me generate leads, but it also makes my brand bigger too. But I first have to define, why am I even posting? See, without a clear goal, your content is just noise. Define your objectives and let it guide your strategies. You can't just you got to get away from those random stuff. You can't be doing things random anymore. If you really want to play this game and you're serious about playing this game in business, you got to be intentional about everything. Key step number 2, you got to identify your audience. You cannot create effective content if you don't know who it's for. See, like, a lot of us create content and we don't even know who we creating the content for. Like, what does your avatar look like? Like, when I say avatar, what do you want your audience to look like? Like, do you want your audience to be a group of entrepreneurs? Do you want your audience to be a group of makeup lovers? Do you want your audience to be a group of homemakers? Who are you posting content for? Like, take time to understand this. You need to take time to understand who they are. Like, what's their age? Where they live at? Like, what are their locations? Are they tropical weather? Are they in tropical states? Are they in cold, wintry states? Are they in states that have 4 seasons? Like, where's your audience located? Like, what do they do for a living? What are their interests? And this is just demographics. Like, and if you don't understand, like, if you need help identifying who your audience is, you can always watch. Matter of fact, I'm gonna post the video link right up here in this corner. You can always watch my video on how to identify your target audience, how to actually identify your target audience. So if you don't know who your target audience is and you want to find out who they are, go ahead and watch this video right after this video. But you need to know who your audience is, their age, location, their job, their interests, again, the demographics, right? And you need to know what challenges they face. What problems are they going through? Like, what questions keep these people up at night? What are they always thinking about? How do you help them to overcome? Like, what are the solutions that you can help them with? Like, what kind of content do they engage with the most? Like, you need to know all this. The better you understand your audience, the easier it is to create content that resonates with them, that engages them, and that converts them into buying customers, paying customers. So take your time to identify who your audience is. Because if you're trying to advertise, if you don't know who you're advertising to, then you're advertising to nobody. Let me say it again. If you don't know who you are advertising to, if you don't know who you are talking to, then you are talking to nobody. Key step number 3, you got to choose your channels. Your audience isn't everywhere. Let me say it again. Your audience isn't everywhere. So don't waste time trying to be everywhere either. Instead, focus exactly on where they spend most of their time. Like, people who spend most of their time on YouTube is perfect for tutorials and storytelling and engaging in video contents like the one you're currently watching here. Or if it's your channel on Instagram, because Instagram is great for visual storytelling and reels and brand building. Or LinkedIn, which is ideal for business-to-business content and thought leadership and professional networking. Or podcasts, right? It's a powerful way to establish authority and build deep connections with listeners. But pick 1 or 3 platforms that align with your goal and your audience, and then go all in on those. But like, where are they? I know my people are mostly on YouTube and LinkedIn. Right? I know most of my wife know most of her audience is on Instagram, Pinterest, and TikTok. Right? Like, go where your people are. But before you can go where your people are, you must know who they are. So again, if you need to figure out who your target audience is, don't forget to go watch that video. Key step number 4, you got to create valuable content. Content should offer value, literally not just take up space. Like, you can't BS your way through this thing. You can't create fluff. You got to forget fluff. You can't BS. Like, you have to actually put in the time, research, and know what you're talking about and become a thought leader in your actual field. And you come up with new concepts or new ways to get people to see things. Like, you got to create valuable content. You actually got to really solve a problem. You actually got to address people's pain points with actionable solutions. You can't, like, there's no fluff in this. Like, so if you're going to create content that actually help people. Provide powerful insight. Share unique perspective or industry expertise. Entertain and inspire people. People love content that makes them feel something. The key is just literally be original and be helpful and be worth the time that they take to watch you. Like, literally, you got to become a resource. I don't know how many times I can say this. You have to become a resource. And key step number 5, and this is probably one of the hardest steps, is because the biggest struggle for many creators isn't getting started. It's actually sticking with it. And thank God, I'm finally sticking with it. I ain't gonna lie, it's hard, y'all. It's even hard for me. Like, over this past year since I started, even I wasn't fully consistent, but I tried to make at least, I started with trying to make at least 2 videos a month. Now I'm up to 4 videos a month. But the goal is you got to be consistent. You got to stick with it, because here's why consistency is crucial. One post will not build an audience. Let me say it again. One video will not build an audience. One reel will not build an audience. One story will not build an audience. One video won't help you establish credibility. It has to be multiple videos, right? And one mail or one email. One email won't grow your business. One email won't convert your customer. It's going to take many of them. Success in content marketing comes from showing up again and again and again and again and again and again. Like, you have to keep showing up and creating content over and over and over again. Let me say it again. One post will not build you an audience. One video won't help you establish credibility, and one email will not grow your business. You have to keep showing up over again and again and again. Create a schedule that works for you. Whether it's like a weekly blog post, I told you, like, my goal is always to post 4 videos a month. Like, you're going to get 4 of these long form videos a month, no matter what. And like, you got to set a schedule though. How many times do you plan on posting daily on social media? Like, I think if you can commit to 2 times a week, 2 times a day, that shouldn't be that hard to post 2 times a day. So two social media updates a day. I don't think that's too hard. And then you just got to commit to it and just do it no matter what. You just got to make it happen. Like, you make things happen for other people it doesn't benefit you as much as making it happen for yourself. And last but not least, key step number 6, which is a very important step. Key step number 6 is you have to measure and improve. Creating content without tracking your performance is like driving literally blindfolded. You have no idea where you're actually going. Like, you gotta monitor. Like, you gotta track your performance. You can't. Again, everything you leads to randomness falls to chaos. And when there's chaos, there's no order. And when there's no order, there's no direction. You're never going anywhere because things are just everywhere. You gotta know what's going on. You gotta track the data. Monitor your key matrix. Like monitor your engagement. When I say monitor your engagement, like, look at your likes, your shares, and your comments. And I'm not talking about looking at them for any vain reasons. You look at them to see which post worked and which post didn't work. Like, why did I get more likes on this post and then I got less likes on this post? Why did more people share this post and less people shared this post? Why did I get so many comments here and not enough comments over there? Like, you got to pay attention to this. Because if you know what people like more, because again, it goes back to people's interests and not your interests. Like, you might think the video's like dope. You might think the video's like super good, but your audience don't. So it doesn't matter what you think it is. It matters what they think it is, because they're the one that's going to give you their attention. They're the one paying you with their attention that eventually will pay you with their dollars. Like, you got to know your engagement. And number 2, like, traffic. Like, you got to pay attention to your traffic. Like, how many people are visiting your website? Like, do you know how many people visit your profile? Not just your website. How many people are visiting your profile? How many new people are finding you every week? Like, you need to pay attention. You need to track these things. You cannot let these things just go to randomness. You cannot not know these things and expect to have a successful business. Because if you don't know how many people are showing up or walking past your store or going to your website or your profile, then you're losing. You're losing because you don't know. And if you don't know, how can you convert? Like, you can't convert people. Like if you don't even know how many people are coming to your website or your profile, then how can you know how many of those people are even taking action? Like if 100 people, like, I know if 100 people come to my website, I know I'm at least make 3 or 4 sales. So with that information in hand, if I know I'm gonna make, I'm sorry, not 3 or 4, 2 to 3 sales. If I know if I get 100 people to come on my website, I'm gonna make 2 to 3 sales. How do I get that number up? Oh, easy. Since I know the number is, I just gotta get more people. If I want more sales, then all I got to do is get more people to come to my website or my profile. So how do I increase that? Well, shoot, create more content and push ads out there and get people to come, right? But if you don't know that, then how can you increase what you don't know? You have to use data and you have to double down on what works. So you use this data to learn what works so that you can double down on it. And then you begin to adjust what doesn't work. And you got to get rid of what doesn't work. See, this is why most entrepreneurs fail, is because they don't track anything. And when you don't track anything, you don't know what works. And because you don't know what works, you hold on to what doesn't work. And then you do more of what doesn't work. And then that just creates a cycle of burnout, like a rat race. You run in place and you go nowhere because you don't know what works and you don't know what works. So you're just throwing stuff at the wall, hoping it stick. And in business, that doesn't work. That might work for you in whatever you're doing, but in business, that doesn't work. The best content creators and the best businesses are always testing, learning, and improving. You must test, you must learn, you must improve. The best content creators, they're not guessing what works. They know what works. And then they test things to figure out what works better. And then when they learn what works better, they do more of it. And then they continue to repeat the cycle over and over and over again. Like, you got to start using data. Data needs to become your best friend, especially if you plan to grow. Because if you don't know the score, then how do you know when you're losing? If you follow these key steps that I just gave you, you have no success in creating content will become inevitable. Like, you're going to make it. Like, if you have to listen to these steps over and over and over again until you get it and study each step in depth, like, go outside of me, like, go find but if you follow these 6 steps and then you increase your knowledge and your strategy using these 6 steps, success becomes inevitable. Like, I hope you have come to understand that content isn't just nice to have. It's the lifeblood of your brand. It's the lifeblood of your business. It's the lifeblood of your online identity. It's the lifeblood of people getting to know you and finding you. If you don't step up your content game, you'll keep fading into the background. I promise you, you will. And nobody's going to ever know you. But if you commit to valuable, consistent content, you will eventually stand out and attract the right audience. And you'll be able to convert them into loyal customers using no pushy ads at all. It's time to break through the noise. And it's time to let your voice be heard. Well, that's all I have for you today. And the goal, as always, is to learn from each other so that we can learn at a faster pace, helping each other remain a strategic player in this game called business. So with that being said, please let us know in the comments how you plan to use content to scale your business, or give us a tip on the best way to use content in a way that helps us to leverage our business in a way that benefits us. And that's all I have for you today.